Mushu and I are ready. Are you ready, darling? Are you ready for deadlifts? You warmed up? You did some yoga? In the right headspace? Yeah, she's keen, we're keen, ready to go. All right. On that note of doing yoga, there's a little bit of me that didn't want to do it. I just wanted to get straight into training, but I know it's super helpful. It's one of the single most important things that I've ever introduced that has changed my body drastically. It's so helpful. I love it. Deadlifts today is not a deload day. Let's go. Deadlifts are done. That was a really good set. I felt really strong and focused, and that was a really smooth 80 kilos. I kind of thought that I was gonna go up and then would have to go back down. But yeah, total of 4 sets, 3 of them are 80 kilos. Happy with that. Mid-session dance with the doggos can be quite helpful as well. So I'm sure that was a big playing factor on how that weight moved. Next up, I have barbell rows. I'm gonna start off with the 45 kilos, similar to what I did last week. Then I'm gonna go up to 50 kilos. Last week, I felt like I could have gone up in the weight, but I chose to focus more on doing a 2-second pause at the squeeze of the row. And like I said last week, it was just kind of like just another way to look at it. Instead of just progressing with weight, you can get better with mind muscle, get better with contracting. So see how it moves, but I'll probably end up upping it to 50. Yeah, because I've got the energy and the grunt to do it, so I might as well. I'm glad that I went up to the 50 for those rows. I did start getting, you know, that grind at the end, which is what I was after. Yeah, happy with that. I probably wasn't contracting as much as I would have liked, but when you get to that weight where it's like, you know, getting a bit heavy and grindy, sometimes you have to float around. You know, the 45 seems like really good contraction, quite easily done, and then that 50, it's just kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. You'll find that the same when it comes to any other lift. You might feel that bit where it feels good, feels control, and then you'll just get that point where it just flips over and you're like, ah, this is fucked. If it's right at the end, then it's fine. Stick it out. The form slips a little bit, it's okay. But that's only the exception of it being, you know, the last couple of reps that you have in the tank. Next up, I have pullovers. I really like these ones. These are feeling really good. I do have an explanation of pullovers in one of my previous vlogs, which I'll put in the card up above. But yeah, it's really good to get the technique right and get that pack down, and then you can actually go pretty heavy with these ones. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Next up, I have good mornings. Now, I've been hanging around with just using the bar. It's a 20 kilo bar. And for me, good mornings take a lot out of me mentally, because I'm so onto the form of it. It's a really amazing exercise for your back, your hamstring, your abs. But some people can get really scared that it's gonna fuck their back, or it's like not good or whatever. When it comes to good mornings, something that people usually get caught up with is trying to go as low as possible. Now, especially if you have like tension or pressure in your lower back, you really don't have to go all that deep. If you have really tight hamstrings, you don't have to go that deep. It's just about doing it the correct way. And once you start to understand what muscles you engage, then you worry about depth, because that's where your strength has already started to build, because you've got that mind-muscle connection and because you're concentrating on correct form. A little tip for this one that I found super helpful was before you go down, so you have the bar on your back, you've stood it away. Now, before you go down, you're thinking about shortening the length between your hips and your upper abs. So you're like you're still standing up straight, so you're not bending over anything, but you just kind of crunch down a little bit. So as your hips go back, you feel a shortening through the top and the front of the body. And as those hips go back, you're keeping it nice and short, pushing the hips back, keeping the spine nice and straight. You're not overarching and poking your tailbone out. Nice straight spine, lowering the weight, just allowing your hips, your hamstring and your back to let you know that that's where it's gonna go. And then you just drive those hips straight back underneath you. Another thing to make sure is that when you come back up, that you're not pulling up from the chest. So from the front of the chest, you're not pushing the weight and curving the lower back to bring the bar back up into that neutral position. You're keeping the shortening through the front of the body and your hips just coming underneath you. Last but not least, horizontal pull-ups. Gonna get it done. You know why? Because there's a few things that are gonna get me to the end. 1, a good song. 2, that I have black bean brownies at the end of this, which I'll show you after the exercise. And 3, I'm gonna feel accomplished as fuck. So I think that's what they say, you know, triple threat. We'll say that people say that anyway. I say that. Bartok says that. Mushu says it. Triple threat. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's get to the end and I'll show you my black bean brownie. Extra little 4 kilos on the horizontal pull-ups, never hurt nobody. Thanks Mushu, great job mate, did fantastic. Now for a treat. Look at that, Yum. I'm not going to eat them all yet, but so delicious, very good. Who would have thought putting black beans in brownies would taste so good? All right, so I'm gonna go eat more brownie. Before I do that, thank you. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you found those little tips for the good mornings a little bit helpful. As always, it's about listening to your body. It comes with confidence. It also comes with building trust and understanding what's right for you. One more workout for the week and I've done my week 4. Then I'm at the halfway mark. I feel really good. Like my body is recovering quite well. I have nice energy. But as we know previously, it can just dip every now and again. Depends on what I'm doing through the days and whatnot. It was really good to move my body today and I'm super grateful, and I'll see you next time.